Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this wonderful episode. I believe you're having a wonderful evening. If you're just joining us, I want to say you're welcome to the Watchman Young Adult Forum. This forum is a place where you will gain knowledge, you get a lot of ideas, a lot of information which you'll be needing. And today is one of each day. If you're just joining us in Nigeria, outside Nigeria, come on, share the link to your friends. Invite everyone more because today is going to be a wonderful day. We're going to be talking about something very, very, very unique. So share the link to your friends, your family, because the show is about to click. Please share the link, invite your friends to share the link, everyone to benefit. But we're talking about something very, very important today. I know we all know the topic is very, very personal, which you and I will be needing. You're an entrepreneur, come on. Grab the pen, your paper, your water, your juice, your popcorn, and sit tight and enjoy this book. I know you'll benefit a lot, so just sit tight. Share the link to your friends and welcome them, invite them. Okay, and this is the link to your friends for them to benefit, okay? Share the links to your friends. Let them join. Let them join this wonderful, wonderful discussion. Share the links to your friends. Share the links to your families. Let them join this wonderful episode. Okay? Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to this wonderful occasion. Welcome to today's talk show. If you're in the east, the west, the north, the south, and outside Nigeria, I just want to welcome you all. And I would also love you to share the link to your friends because we are going to be talking on something very, very important this evening. As you all know, today we are going to be talking on personal branding. It's all about packaging. So it's a topic that is very, very important because personal branding is all about packaging. As a professional selling your goods and services, you need to stand out and differentiate yourself from your competitors. So it's something you and I will need as an entrepreneur. And we have a wonderful guest speaker in the house today. This guest speaker is somebody you and I may know is an effective leadership evangelist, productivity strategist, and a transformational speaker in Nigeria. He's not just a leader, he's a catalyst for transformation, an advocate for progress, and an inspiration to all those who strive to make a meaningful difference in the world. Come on, wherever you are, let us join hands together and welcome to the studio the one and only person, Mr. Val Okafor. Mr. Val Okafor, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Unique. Thank you so much for that rousing welcome. And good
You're
evening,
welcome.
everyone
You're
joining.
welcome.
Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're seeing this video from.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to
Mhm.
be here. I'm really excited to come back again. The last time I was here was, I think, last year to talk about effective leadership development. And I'm here again to talk about personal branding. you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really happy to be here, and thank you to the team for having
You're
me.
welcome. You're welcome. So, having joined us again, so how do you feel? How do you feel today? How do you feel? At least to come back after a year. How do you feel to be in the show today? Are you excited? Hello? Hello, Mr. Okafor, are you there? I think he's having network issues. Hello, Mr. Okafor, are you there? I can't see Val. Bob. Are you having network issues? Okay. Okay. Obim! Obim!
Hello. Just to be clear that everyone
Okay,
can
so
hear me.
sorry, so sorry for that. The network went off actually. Okay, please, Mr. Val, you are not sure. When we talk personal, what concept? Because I believe everyone has different concepts. So, what's the concept? What's the concept? Kindly explain it.
All right. Okay, so thank you very much. To do justice to this topic, I know I love the caption that says it's all about packaging, but tonight I'm going to be delving deep beyond just packaging. I want you to understand the very fundamentals of personal branding, and then how you
Okay.
can start as an entrepreneur to build a personal brand, and even if you run a company, to build a formidable corporate brand. So what I'm going to be doing today, I'm just going to, help you to understand what personal branding is about, help you to identify your unique value proposition, and then help you to build a consistent online presence. And if you have time, I'll help you to establish thought leadership around personal branding. Okay. At
Okay.
the end of
Yeah.
this training, I want everyone who participated to be able to understand what personal branding is about and how they can start. So that's what we hope to
Oh.
achieve this evening. So to as a matter of introduction, I just want you to, as I call the names of these individuals, think of something. All right, think of what they do. So I'm going to start with Elon Musk. Okay, what comes to your mind at the mention of Elon Musk? I mean, something is ringing in your head right now. Elon
Okay.
Musk, okay, Tesla, Twitter, yeah, that guy that wants to acquire every platform in the world.
Okay.
So, Mark Zuckerberg, what comes to mind? Jeff Bezos, Mike, Bill Gates.
Okay.
So as I'm mentioning the names of these individuals, already you are thinking about what they do. Okay. So for
Yeah.
Mark, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. For Bill Gates, Microsoft. For Jeff Bezos, you're thinking Amazon. Okay. So that is what personal brand is about. Personal brand is an identity. Personal brand is a perception. Personal brand is an image of yourself, okay? Such that people can connect with you on a level of what you can do and what you bring to the table. So, as I mentioned, Mark Zuckerberg, you thought, oh, Facebook, the creator of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook. So, he's synonymous to Facebook. So, Facebook is his identity, Facebook is the image, Facebook is the perception. So when we talk about personal branding, we're talking about a perception that you create of yourself. That's what
Okay.
people connect to. Yeah. Personal branding is the process of creating an image, an identity, or a perception of yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
Especially professionally. Okay, professionally is a professional image of yourself, is a professional perception of yourself, is an identity of yourself. That's what personal branding is. And as we go deeper into this conversation, you will understand what this means. Okay,
Okay.
so that's what
Yeah.
personal branding is. And another person I can mention is Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, what comes to your mind? Football star, you know, Lionel Messi. What comes to your mind? Football star, Barcelona, PSG. Let's talk about the latest. Victor Osimhen. What comes to your mind? Oh, Napoli, King of Napoli, King of Naples. So these are personal brands that I've just mentioned. But beyond their names, okay, that's what I want you to understand. Beyond their names, something rings in your head. What they do, because there is, a sync between you as an individual and what you do. That's what personal brand is. A
That's right.
perception. So when I mentioned your name, what should people think? Okay, when I mention your name, what should people think? Aliko Dangote, oh, cement, sugar, and latest refinery. Tony Elumelu, something just rings in your mind. Entrepreneur, billionaire, Femi Otodela, and all of these people, they are all personal brands. Why? Because they have created a perception of themselves. There's something they want you to think about them, and they have succeeded in creating that. That's what a personal brand is about. So
Okay.
why is it important to build a personal brand? It is important to build a personal brand because you want to single yourself out from the crowd. A lot of people doing a lot of things, especially on the internet, especially on social media, and you want to single yourself out. That's where personal branding comes to play. So
Okay.
personal branding, distinguishes you from a lot of people. Have you ever wondered why people always go to one particular woman frying akara on your street? Let's call her Mama Ebuka or Mama Kelechi. Why do people
Okay.
go to Mama Kelechi's akara joint to buy akara? And why not Mama Yabo's akara? Have you ever thought about that? And even when there is queue at Mama Ebuka's akara joint, people will still stay there. I've seen, practically on my street where when I was living in Jos, there's this woman that everybody wants to buy her akara. Even on a Sunday morning, you would think a service is happening. People will just stay, in queue
Yeah.
and they are waiting for their turn. I'm like, come on, is this the only woman who sells akara? Personal
Oh,
brand, personal branding is a perception, is an identity. There's something that woman does to the minds of these people who come to
yeah.
patronize her. Yeah. So that's why when a lot of people, ask me about, oh, how can I distinguish myself online? How can I make people to buy from me? I'm like, see, personal branding is a key. Distinguish yourself from the crowd. Why should people buy from you? Okay. Why should people buy
Yeah.
from you? And thank God we're going to talk about creating a value proposition. And that I will explain that. But I'm talking about the importance now. It distinguishes you from a lot of things happening, all over. It also builds trust. Yeah,
Okay.
it builds trust. Yeah. When people, somebody is think, for example, for me, if I'm traveling maybe for a conference or a speaking engagement somewhere, I want to book my flight. You know, I've been served breakfast several times by some airlines, so I don't
All right.
even near them at all. So trust, will help me to book the airline that serves me well, okay, that
Yeah.
informs me on cancellation of flight or rescheduling of flight because we've built trust. Personal
Okay.
branding. So for this airline, it's corporate brand because I'm not dealing with an individual, I'm dealing with an organization. So it builds trust, it builds credibility. Credibility. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll prefer to fly with this airline, or I'll prefer to buy from this vendor because of you know
True.
um what I call a repetition or consistency of value, consistency of quality, consistency in delivery. So that's what builds credibility for that individual or the organization. So it's very important to build a personal brand. Okay, remember credibility, remember trust, and then of
Yeah.
course, social proof. This is now when you meet a potential client or a prospective client who wants to do business with you. So your personal brand now builds uh, social proof, proof of
Okay.
work. Okay, so that person can lay hands on something you've done in the past, how you've treated other clients and what they are saying about you in the feedback. So
Yeah.
personal branding is very, very key. So, what are the benefits? And I think I'll bring that up in by the time we are rounding off this conversation. I'll talk about the
Oh,
benefits and also share my own personal story, and how it has helped me. Now, let's move over to identify your unique value propositions. It is important for personal brands to be able to create a value proposition for themselves, and to be able to help you understand this, I've outlined it into sub themes. Number one, understand your strengths, your skills, and your expertise. So number one, what are you good at? In building a
okay.
personal brand, you want to identify your strength. What are you good at? Okay, what can you do so well? That even if I don't pay a dime, you would still do it excellently.
Okay.
What is that thing? What is that thing that you can do so well that even if nobody commits, a dime, you can still do it so well. For example, I mean, for myself, what I'm doing now, whether there's money or there's the money is very important though, but
Yeah.
when I started my journey about 7 years ago, I never imagined that people get paid for speaking. I never dreamt of it. I was like, how? How will people give you money for speaking? I mean, who does that? But
Okay.
when I grew and I evolved and reinvented myself, it started happening to me. Like people will pay, not just your speaking fee. They will treat you well, they will lodge you, they will give you gifts, and they will thank you again. I was like, wow, really? So this is real.
Yeah.
So this is real. So but then when I started, I knew that I was very good at sharing my knowledge with people, speaking like
Okay.
this in public. Okay. I knew that whether money or not, I
You
could
should
share
speak.
my knowledge, I could share the skill that I have with people. I could teach. Okay, so I knew
Yeah.
that was my, that was my, that's my easy place. Okay, so you must find what you can do so well. You must find
Okay.
out your strengths. You must find out your skills. What can you do? You know, and then your
Yeah.
expertise. Some people they are very good at cooking, and thank God for the record-breaking event that took place about last week or 2 weeks ago. So for some people
Yeah.
that say, "Oh, it's too insignificant to cook," I beg, which one is cooking? Have you seen, a world record breaker, you know, get
Cook for
some mouth watering deals from that? So you must be, let me tell you, because I'm speaking to a Christian audience. See,
Okay.
one thing I've learned is, you know, the Bible says that in all labor there is profit. Can I tell
Yeah.
you what leads to poverty? It is talking without doing, always talking but no action. That's what leads to poverty. But whatever it is that you lay your hands to do, the Bible says that He will bless the works of your hands. So it mustn't be public speaking like I'm doing. It mustn't be graphics design. It mustn't be software development. Even if you're a chef, even if you are a fashion designer, even if you're a tiler, you're a carpenter, just be good at what you're doing. Do you know
Okay.
that there are tables for presidents? Do you know there are tables for ministers, governors? Yes. In their offices, go and see. You'll see a large table there. Who made it? A carpenter made it. And there are also tables for people who sell, akara and akamo. Yeah, on your
Okay.
street. A carpenter made it. So the difference is in personal branding. The difference is in understanding that I'm good at this thing and I'm supposed to serve kings and nobles with my gifts.
Okay.
And until you start serving kings, please do not stop. And then
Okay.
for me, I will go ahead to say, be the king, by all legitimate means. Be the king now. All right. So from serving
Yeah.
kings to becoming one. So that will take consistency, dedication, determination, hard work, vision. All right. So that's it. So what are you good at? And I can give you clues, okay, to understanding your innate inclinations, your natural abilities, what you can do so well. Number one, what is that thing that gives you a deep sense of fulfillment? Just mark my words, deep sense of fulfillment. Fulfillment is deep satisfaction. Fulfillment is this joy that flows from within after doing something. I remember when I was organizing events, I started from the church. From the church. I spoke to the youth pastor. I said, "Sir, I want to teach people how to succeed in their UTME and their WIEC because I've done that, I've succeeded in my own." And I said, "Okay, that's a
Okay.
good one. So do it." I was super excited. So I needed to, I brought in some resource persons. I bought drinks. Then I was a classroom teacher, earning some very small amount. So, but then I used part of the money from my salary to buy
Okay.
drinks, to arrange the place. I was so happy.
Wow.
After doing it, I was so super excited. I didn't look at the money that was spent. I looked at the impact that was created. I looked at the
Yeah.
satisfaction that was coming from within me. So you must be able to understand, what am I good at? What gives me a deep sense of fulfillment? Because these days people do things because of money, People do things because of money. I was speaking to my deputy CEO last week. I said, "Ma, there are a lot of people who have they have succeeded career wise, but can I
Of
shock
course,
you?
of course.
That career ladder they have climbed up to the peak
Okay,
is on
okay.
a wrong wall, right? They have
Yeah, yeah.
succeeded in a career, but that career ladder is on a wrong wall. So they are frustrated, they are not happy with their job, but they earn multiple six figures every month, and some of them even seven figures every month, but they are not happy. They want to quit the job. That is where fulfillment comes in. Let me use
Okay,
a
okay.
practical scenario to help you understand this. Remember when
Yeah,
Miriam
yeah.
was, suggested that she knew somebody who could take care of Moses? And, Pharaoh's daughter said, "Oh, of course, get me one." She went
Right,
and
right.
called Moses' mother. That's the height of fulfillment. Just
Yeah,
imagine
yeah.
Moses' mother breastfeeding Moses, taking care of. I mean, would she care about the salary?
No,
This is my son that I'm
of course, of
preparing,
course.
to become a prince or to become a
Yeah,
king,
yeah.
you know. So that's the height of fulfillment, the joy. When you see what you're doing, you're excited, you're happy,
Of
you're
course, of
fulfilled.
course.
So you must be able to pay attention to what gives you a sense of fulfillment. That's how to locate your innate potential, your strength. Because I believe so much that if a fish doesn't need to go to a swimming school to learn how to swim, neither will a bird go to a flying school to learn how to fly, how much more human beings created in the image of God? There must be something, unique about them that if they are
Yeah,
able to
yeah.
understand, they will soar very high. They will succeed in everything they do. So, what are your strengths? What are your capabilities? What are your skills? What are you good at doing? You know, so that's one clue that can help you. And then of course, if you're just in case you say, "Oh, Val, I've not been able to identify what I'm good at," no
Wow,
problem.
wow.
Okay, no problem. Now let's talk about your skill. Skill is, you know um, the knowledge that you have refined. Okay, the talent that you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
refined. Yeah, you can be skilled at singing, but it's not enough. So you can be talented rather at singing, but it's not enough. You need to now turn it into a skill. Now
Okay,
that
okay.
talent will have to go through what I call a process of refinement. Just like hydrocarbon, crude oil will undergo a process of refinement so that you get bitumen, you get diesel, you get petrol, you get kerosene, you get gas,
Okay,
because it has
okay.
gone through a process of refinement, right? Now,
Yeah,
nobody
yeah.
will buy crude for a high price, but they will buy petrol for a high price because it has become valuable. So
Yeah,
a
yeah.
barrel of crude is sold at about $65 per barrel right now. But
Okay,
come on now,
okay.
just a liter of petrol in Nigeria is about 200 naira or 190 naira. you know, just a liter. So people will pay a high price for a finished
For something,
product than they will pay for raw material. So if you're
yeah,
if you're
yeah.
talented at singing or writing and you're happy about it, well, congratulations, but there is more. You need to now
Yeah, yeah.
undergo, development. You need to train yourself, go to a music school, get the skill. If you're a
Okay,
speaker,
okay.
undergo training on public speaking to understand the techniques of communication. These things are very important. So that is what you now present as a skill. So what are your skills? Some of you are very good at fashion design. You can cut your clothes. I made a suit, 3 weeks ago, and when the tailor
Wow,
brought it, the trouser was perfect. Oh my God.
wow,
I've
wow.
not been lucky with, tailors making trousers for me.
For
But
you,
this
for
one,
you.
perfect, perfect
For,
fit.
for.
I there was no need to go and amend it. It was so perfect.
Mhm.
That's a skill. Height of dexterity. Okay, height of
Yeah,
dexterity. So, what skills do you possess? What knowledge do you have? What are your natural inclinations? I'm talking about value proposition. Okay, So you must be able
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
understand this in building a personal brand. The next thing is to define your target audience, which is very important. Some people don't even carry out what is called, needs assessment. In project management, there's something called needs assessment.
Yeah.
And even in
Yeah.
business, you need to understand what what my potential clients, what do they really need? What problem
Need.
are they really trying to solve? You must be able to understand that before you launch your product or your service. If you don't go carry out a needs assessment survey, you launch a product and you find out that nobody's buying, and you're wondering why are people not buying? Because you didn't carry your research. You didn't carry out your research very well. Yeah, you need to identify your target audience. And in business, there's something we call creating a customer avatar. So when you create a
Okay.
customer avatar, you're asking yourself, this my target audience, how much do they earn? What is their, earning capacity like in a month? Do they earn 500K, 1 million, 200K, 100K, as the case may be? Where do they live? Okay, some of them, their houses, they live in estates, some duplexes in highbrow areas. That is customer avatar. Do you
Okay.
understand? So you must
Yeah.
be able to identify who are my target audience. Who? So
Yes.
when I started my journey, I was really speaking to secondary school students most of the time. Secondary school students, because as at that time, I was just an undergraduate. Okay, so I could easily speak to secondary school students who were, aspiring to become students of the higher institution. So they were my
Okay.
target audience. Yes, they were my target audience, and my message resonated very well with them. Now, as I improved and I took more courses and I, had more trainings, I started speaking to university students and, entry level staff of organization, hair. So because I've gotten new knowledge, I've increased my value capital, so I could
Okay.
easily speak to them. So you, at every point in time, you must be able to identify your target
Get it.
audience. So when you're creating your product or your service, you know how much these people can pay. There are people who they are willing to learn. They are so enthusiastic. They are passionate about knowledge, but they can't afford 50K to pay for your training. They
Okay.
cannot. Yeah, but they are so enthusiastic. They want to learn. They want to be part, but their earning capacity is saying no, you can't.
You
No, and your
can't.
product, is for middle income earners and even high income earners. And your
Okay.
target audience are people who cannot raise their amount. So I mean, there's something wrong with the research. So you must be able to identify your target audience, people who your message, you know,
Okay.
is clearly stated out. So you wouldn't burn yourself and wonder, oh, I'm posting every time on social media, nobody's liking, nobody's commenting. It's because your content is not resonating with your audience. They don't understand. They
Yeah.
don't. They don't. Okay. I work in a corporate setting, and we train, we train executives, CEOs, even some politicians. So now there are certain terminologies I will use on university students and secondary school students. They will never understand it. They will not
Wow.
understand it. Yeah, because it's not their experience, it's not their reality. So, but I know the what words to use for them. Do you get now? So
Yeah.
that understanding
Yeah.
is very important. Now, another important thing is identifying your unique selling proposition, what is called USP. Unique selling proposition. That is what Mame Buka, remember the Mame Buka we talked about, the Akarasela. That's what Mame Buka understands. She uses it for her customers. Your unique selling proposition. So why should people pay to attend Valukafo's course, than any other person's course? Why should people buy Valukafo's book than any other person's book? That is where
Okay.
unique selling proposition comes in. Why should I fly Airpeace or even Air or Dana Air or Arik Air than United Nigeria or any other airline or Green Africa?
Okay.
That's where unique selling proposition comes in. You must be able to understand what is my unique differentiator, what distinguishes me from every other fashion designer out there. Personal branding. Remember, image,
Yeah.
identity, perception. So when people think of Valukaf, that guy, he explains complex things in a very simple way.
A
Oh,
simple way.
wow. So I want to be in his class because he explained complex, knowledge to an easy, tiny bit that I can understand. So that's why I should be in his class. You get the point. So that
Yes,
could be one unique selling proposition. For other people, is their accent. Yeah, their accents just make people to love them, even though they don't really have content, but their
of course.
accent just people love their accent. For some people, is their mannerism. Their
Okay.
mannerism. Oh, they smile a lot. Oh my God, you're welcome. Or people like just feel at home being around them. You must understand your unique selling proposition. Okay,
Yeah.
so why do
Yeah.
people open account with First Bank and not Guarantee Trust Bank? Unique selling proposition. See, human beings, they are creatures of necessity. They want what is important for them. They go
Okay.
after value. Yes, human beings are selfish in nature, and they go what benefits them. So if it doesn't benefit them, you will see them. They always look out for what benefits them. So you must be able to craft your unique selling proposition around what benefits the people, around what will
Okay.
connect them to you. All right. So
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
well, this is best kept secret, but I'm going to just share it for free. One of the reasons why I've never spoken in a place, in a conference, and the organizers don't want me to come back. It has not happened before. Like, oh, we
Wow.
want to have you back. Well, it's deliberate. I'm so deliberate about how I pass my message. I'm so deliberate about the content of my training. I'm so deliberate. Okay, I'm intentional
Yeah.
because it's my brand. I'm building a brand.
Of
There's
course.
something I want to leave in your head when I go.
Yeah.
So that's what makes them to want to have me, and want to do everything in their power to bring me
Okay.
back. My selling. So I mean, discover your own. Okay, so go home,
Yeah.
try to find out what makes you
Yeah.
different from every other person. You can ask your friends. You see, what do you think I can do so well that nobody else can do? And if they
Yeah.
are honest with you, they will tell you that's their unique selling proposition. The next point talks about crafting a compelling value proposition statement. And, in my profile, towards the end of my profile, this what I love to say that as you shine your light, you unconsciously give others the permission to do the same. That's
Okay.
a value proposition statement. I always talk about elevated radiance. That's my slogan. That's my mantra. It has become part of my brand. And people are using it here and there. Oh wow, they think of elevated radiance and all that. So you must be able to find something, that connects with your personal brand, that leaves an image of yourself in people. For example, for some people, it's their dress code, which is also part of personal branding. Tony
Okay.
Lumelu, black suit, white shirt, red tie, red socks, everywhere, everywhere, black suit, white shirt, red tie. Okay,
That's
it's not
unique.
as yes, it's not as if he cannot buy ash suit or wear white or no. It's a personal brand. He
Yeah.
leaves an image in your head. So even when you're dreaming, you're seeing Tony Elumelu, the image that comes to you right now is a
Dress.
man wearing a black suit and a white shirt and a red tie and a red socks.
Yeah.
Personal branding is intentional. You must be deliberate about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so for my own boss, Dr. Linus Okore, is blue suits, white shirt, red tie, and red socks.
Wow.
That's his personal brand. Every day, I'm like, sometimes I even ask, sir, are you not tired? in, my, in my head, how can you be wearing? Oh my God, are you not tired? But then it's about so anywhere you see somebody
Yeah.
like that, what comes to your mind is, oh, this must be Dr. Linus Okore. Oh, this must be Tony Lumelu. Do you get the point? Oh, this must
Yeah.
be Bishop David Oyedepo because he's always on white suit, white shirt and red tie.
Okay.
Even when you don't see their face, if you just see that dress code, it reminds you of these people. Personal branding, it's a perception, it's an image. So,
Yeah.
so don't think it's all about having a nice logo. Those things are part of it, but they're secondary. Personal branding
Okay.
is actually creating an image of yourself in the hearts of people. Okay, in the
Yeah.
hearts of people. Yeah. So I was talking about crafting a compelling value proposition statement so you can have yours, which also connects to your personal brand. I'm looking at my time and also putting that into consideration. The next
Okay.
thing we'll talk about is building a consistent online presence, which is the reality now. We are in the digital age, ladies and
Of course.
gentlemen. We are in the
Of course.
digital age. Some people are so funny. They're like, I'm not a social media person, or well, except you're not an entrepreneur, somebody who's
Okay.
trying to build something online, fine and good. Please relax somewhere. But if you are intentional about getting a wider coverage, you want to sell faster to people because people who don't know you are likely to buy from you. It is
Of
people who
course.
know you that may not even patronize you. Yeah. Check your client base, check your customer base. The people who know you, they want to get it for free. You start selling clothes and like,
At very low rate.
yes, ridiculous price. Give me this thing. After
Yeah.
I'll pay you because of the what is called the familiarity complex. So,
Complex. Of
but
course.
your client base who are willing to pay are those who do not even know you. So if you
Okay.
come online, yeah, there are 70 or 80% chances you will sell more to people who do not know you. So, but
Okay.
if you come online, there are certain things you need to do. Number
Okay.
one is creating a professional, well, not compulsory, but it's important website, a personal
Okay.
website, okay, or a blog. But these days we have what is called a portfolio website, like where I have my profile, launched about.me, about.me. About.me is
Okay.
publicly accessible. Anybody that asks me, oh Val, send me your profile, I just send you my link. You open it, you go see my stuff there. My picture is there. You can download it and use for your flyer. My profile is there. You can go use it for whatever it is that you want to do. So it's publicly accessible. When people Google you, what do they see? You must be able to intentionally build digital footprints. Yeah,
Okay.
digital footprints online. You must be Googleable. When people Google you, they should be able to see something, not just your social media stuff popping up like Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn. No, it's important, but something else, okay, which I
Yeah.
may touch tonight. So because in 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I was nowhere on Google. I was like, how can I, be able to project myself as a professional in my field on Google? Then I
Okay.
started, I created a LinkedIn account and all
Okay.
that. I started, optimizing my online profile. But then I needed more things. So I created a content and sent to Bella Niger, which is more
Okay.
like the one of the famous blogs in Nigeria. And they accepted that blog post, and they posted it on Bella Niger. Before you
Wow.
knew it, you could find me on Google. When you click
Wow.
Val Okafor, you see, oh, his article is on Bella Niger and all that. And from there I started writing more articles, more posts, more stuff. So if you
Wow.
check, you see, in fact, maybe the entire page, you see different things, that I've done. So you must be able to, you know, create digital footprints, and that is by creating either a website or a blog, or the portfolio website that is publicly accessible. Can I tell you this? eh, when
Yeah.
people want to share an opportunity with you, or they're checking you out, they will first of all go to your social media. They'll try to
Yeah.
find you on Google, yeah, to know what you've been up to know the kind of person that you are, especially if you're applying for visa. They want to find out, who is this person, what is he up to, what is she up to. They want to find out what you're doing online. Okay. And even some opportunities, global opportunities like a fellowship or a conference abroad, they will ask you for your LinkedIn profile or your Facebook profile. What are they doing? They want to go and check the kind of person they are bringing to their team. They want to check who is coming to
Exactly.
this conference. Hope is not
Mm-hmm.
a terrorist. Hope is not a mediocre. Hope is not
Yeah.
somebody who is sponsoring one form of social vice or another. So you must take
Yeah.
your online presence very seriously. We cannot
Yeah.
overemphasize that. I've been shouting this for the upteenth time. Now the next thing is optimizing your social media profiles, which I just mentioned in passing, and
Okay.
it's about projecting yourself as an authority, as a professional that you are. So let's even talk about the name, your namings, okay? What's the name on social media? Because some people, for example, my name is Valukafo, but online I'm seeing Megalexi or Slim Case or something else. Please, I mean, you're not serious yet. So there has to be the consistency in your name. So that's the
Yeah.
first port of call, that your name on social media must be professional, okay? And then of course the picture that you use, very important. The picture must show that you're good at what you're doing, that you are somebody that can be trusted. Because from looking at you, hey, let's give this person a try. Do you understand? Let's give this
Yeah.
person a try. The way you dress, the way you appear, will show that, wow, this person is an authority. This person knows what he's doing or knows what she's doing. So your profile picture is there, your display picture is there. You can go and check out my own everywhere, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on, yeah, anywhere. Professional, and I maintain the same picture everywhere. I maintain the same picture everywhere. It's the same thing you'll find on LinkedIn. You will see on WhatsApp. You will see on Facebook. You will see. So there is no disparity. If somebody is looking for me, okay, I maintain the same picture. Well, that is for me. But if you want to use different pictures, make sure it's professional enough, especially if you want to build something really, really good for yourself. I cannot, time will fail me to talk about the opportunities I've gotten based on showing up strong, showing up as an authority, showing up as somebody that can be trusted. One of my first project that I coordinated was in 2018. This woman is a management consultant. Okay, she's one of the top management consultants in Nigeria. Her company is in Lekki, in Lagos. She's an image consultant. She saw me on Facebook. She said, she called me because my number is online. She said, "Hello, am I speaking with Val?" I said, "Yes." She said, "I saw you on Facebook and I like what you're doing. I think you are the right person for this opportunity." Wow. Why? Footprints on social media. Footprints, you know, and many other things that has happened. Now, developing a consistent brand voice and visual identity. I talked about maintaining the same picture across board, but now let me talk about brand voice. So when people come to your profile online, what do they see? Because you have told us in your bio that you are a fashion designer or you're a public speaker or something, but in your content there is nothing that shows that you are a public speaker. There is nothing that shows that you're a fashion designer. Today you're arguing sports. Tomorrow you're arguing politics. The next day you are selling content. The other day you are chilling with somebody in the swimming pool somewhere. So there is nowhere we can actually find. There's nothing to say that this person is consistent with. You must maintain a brand voice. So when sometimes people come to me to say, "Oh, I followed you for 1 year and I'm really impressed at your consistency in XYZ." Yeah, some people are watching, they're observing you, they want to know how consistent you are. So please do not play with it. You must be consistent with your brand message. You must be consistent with your brand voice, with your tone. That's actually building a personal brand. So can you see that the idea you had on personal branding is different. I mean, it may not even be up to what I'm teaching you tonight. All right. So the next point I'm trying to also wrap up is creating and sharing relevant content online. Please, please, please share valuable content. Share exportable content online. Can somebody in Europe read your post and get inspired? Can somebody in another African country read you and want to partner with you, want to do stuff with you? These things are very important. Post only relevant content. We've talked about developing your skill, so go and learn. If you need to learn, please do go and learn. Pay for courses. I must emphasize this. Pay for courses, please. Please. Pay for courses. Don't always binge on free things. Okay? If you come to Okafor, I will teach you for free. Oh, I'll share. But people that are in my community, my mentoring platform, the opportunities I share, I will not even share on Facebook or my WhatsApp. No, because they have committed. They have committed something. So I will pour my heart. I will share stuff with them. I will share deeper knowledge and understanding with them. Like what we're doing now, yeah, it's free, you can access it, it's valuable, but deeper understanding, deeper relationship, hand holding you and saying, no, do this, do this, do this. I may not be able to do that here, okay? But if you come, into a deeper relationship, which may start transactionally, that's one thing I will always talk about. Mentorship may not always start based on what we call based on freebie. It may start transactionally. You have to pay for something before it now transcend to a meaningful relationship. Okay, please pay for courses. I beg you, spend your money on personal development. I used to tell my students too that, hey, even at my level, in my space, I still pay for courses. I learn because I want to improve. Yeah, you cannot be teaching old things. People don't have time these days. Their attention span is reducing day by day. So you must be able
That's
to
true.
make sense in time. You must be able to make sense in time, and grab them. Yeah, let me talk about the final point because Unique is here.
Yeah.
Establishing thought leadership, yeah, which is very important. Establishing thought leadership, you must be able to understand your niche. What is your niche? Your niche is actually a subcategory of what you do. So, for example, in the knowledge industry as a whole. Now, if we want to
Okay.
niche it down, if we're niching it down, I'm in the leadership space. Okay, leadership and personal development. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
leadership and personal development. All right. If we want to also niche it down, so who are my target audience? Oh, youth leadership development, youth.
Okay.
So you keep niching it down till you get to your target audience. You must be able to understand that. So some people say, "Oh, I'm a fashion designer." No, what kind of fashion designer are you? What kind of clothes do you make? Are you making for female alone, or are you making for male, or are you making for both genders, or do you make only suits? Some people only, their concentration is on suits. They make only suits. Some people only
Listen.
wedding gowns. Do you understand? There must be a niche.
It's great
You must be able to, yeah, you must come down to something. All right, come down to something. So that's actually on another level, thought leadership with personal
Okay.
branding. Yeah. Number two is guest posting and publications. Yeah. So within the last 2 weeks now, three organizations have reached out to me to say they want to publish my article on leadership or personal development in their magazine, whether online or even hard copy. That's what is called guest posting and publication. It builds your personal brand. So when somebody is going through the magazine and they see, oh, this person, wow, hmm, do you know where the word author comes from? Authority. When you author a book, it shows that you're an authority in that field. Authority. Okay. So when you publish something that is publicly accessible, it gives you some sort of credibility. Yes. That's why I deliberately made a post on Bella Niger. Even they rejected quite so quite a number of my articles, but that one
Really?
went through. Yeah, that one went through. So if you search online, Tales of Love and Procrastination, Tales of
Oh,
Love and Procrastination. That's Val Okafor's publication. You go read it. It talks about procrastination, but in a very creative way. All right.
okay.
So you must sometimes you need to pay. Yes, sometimes you need to pay to be published.
Okay.
Yeah, get Daily Trust or even Sun newspaper, or one of the in your industry, find out the thriving newspaper. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Betty's food blog is saying you are adding value, keep it up.
But
So I
welcome,
mean,
Betty.
Betty's food blog. So those of you that you're in the food space, go and locate Betty's food blog to publish there.
Of
You
course.
get, so yeah, pay token, pay. I've paid to be published.
Okay.
Browse.ng. There's so many of them, so many blogs. Pay, get there, be in the faces of people. Yes, it's a deliberate step to building
Okay.
a credible personal brand. Yeah, you need to pay so that when you get there, people will now pay you to advertise you. Do you
Yeah.
understand now? So people
Yeah.
now pay you to come and for let me use what happened with UBA and Whiskey. So Whiskey was paid 1 billion to come and snap.
Hmm.
To come and
Yes.
snap, so that his face will be on the billboard. 1 billion. I'm talking about 1 billion. And of course that's because he in his space he has built a personal brand for himself, right? So for you, in your space you want to build a recognizable personal brand, a recognizable, voice. You want to be a voice. And please, just permit me to say this thing because it's very important.
Oh,
In your
sorry.
industry you must be able to identify the top players. You must be able to
Okay.
identify the top player. Yes, for me in the leadership space, I can give you five top players in my industry. John Maxwell,
Okay.
yeah, California, United States of America. Brian Tracy, California, United States of America. John Mason. These are the industry. Simon Sinek. These are the top global, leadership experts because I am there. Do you get? So in my space, I know the top players globally. Continentally, Vusi Tambekwayo, is there. Continentally, Futurist Kwame, and all that. Then you come to Nigeria. Oh my God! Like I can go on and on. Fela Duroto is there. Nina Adesonya is there. Reverend Sam Ademi is there. George Asian is there. Lenny Sokore is there. You know, so many of them in Nigeria. Then in my community, I know them. So you must be able to. So the level of progress you need to make to be recognized. Another thing is those people who are ahead of you should also know that you are in existence. Yes, it's a major leap in your personal brand. So for example, for my mentors, some of them know that, oh, there's somebody called Val Okafor who is, changing the lives of young people across Africa. At least they know I exist. And that's a major leap for me. They know I exist. They know that, this is an emerging leader. This is a voice that is coming up. They can look back and point and say, oh yeah, this no, he's tried. So you must be able to also, tilt towards that direction as you're building your personal brand. Who are the top players in the fashion industry in the world? In
Okay.
Africa, in Nigeria, in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, in Abuja, wherever you are. This is very important. You cannot just be winking in the dark. You must
Yeah.
know them. Yes, and you know you must know them. Uh, you must know them, and then you must be able to access them. That's why okay, Mesoma just put it on. She has
Yeah.
commented that it's the please pay for. All right, so pay for courses, pay for conferences. That's where you find them. As an
Necessary.
undergraduate, what helped me as an undergraduate, I was always in conferences.
Of
In
course.
fact, my classmates started mocking me. Like, Val, which conference they happen? Which one? Which what's the next conference? Because I was always there, except I
Yeah,
didn't see the flyer or the post. Then you will not find me there. But if I see the flyer, I'm there. I must be there because I want to connect. That was how I connected with Mrs. Noella Ogo, a very fantastic business growth coach, and then I executed a project for her in the city of Nsukka in Enugu State, and then the relationship kept on growing and growing and all that. So I hope that that helps. Finally, before we go for today, there's a lot to say, but finally is public speaking, speaking at events. Okay, it boosts your personal brand. So it's not
yeah,
enough to be a fantastic fashion designer. Can you speak on fashion design? Okay, can
okay,
you speak on it? Can you teach people? Can you come for a conference or a training workshop and you are able to create impact? So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. Okay, then I'm public speaking now. I'm teaching from what I know, the knowledge that I have, the experience I've built. I'm able to now transfer the knowledge to you and you're getting value. I've worked on
yeah,
myself. Okay, I've created value for myself, but I've also learned how to now transfer the value, transfer the knowledge, transfer the skill that I have to other people. That boosts your personal brand. Some of you are afraid to come on live like this. They will rather die than to come on live like this. Anything that has to do with camera, they're like, oh no, 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 I can't. But as a personal brand, okay, people
yeah,
want to connect with you. People want to connect with you on a personal level. I want you to go and do this assignment. Go and check these big brands, big personal brands, and check their businesses. They have more following on their personal brand than they have for their businesses. Go and check.
okay,
Go and check. Yeah. Go just try this thing. For example, check Tony Elumelu, his personal page, and check UBA, check S Holding, check Transcorp.
okay,
You will see that Tony Elumelu himself has a lot more following than his businesses. Why? People want to connect with you on a personal
we
level.
see,
Yeah,
yeah,
they want to connect with you. That's why it's important, to show yourself, speak, okay? Show, be visible, be identifiable. Yeah, it's not pride. What somebody will say, you know.
yeah. So,
Yeah,
at
so
all. It's not
thank
that
you,
at
thank
all,
you so much. I know
right?
that I've taken time, but I hope that we got
No, no,
value
no, no.
from.
The knowledge is very important. Gaining knowledge is very important.
All right.
So,
So
thank you very much.
officially, this is where I will draw the curtain.
But we have some questions, okay?
Okay, fine. I'm
So,
here.
uh, now, talking about building credit, I know these things are done without resources. In a situation whereby someone doesn't have resources, so how do we build a credible brand?
Sorry, I didn't get some parts of your question, Miss
I
Kudikova.
said, when we talk about building a credible brand, these
Yeah.
things are not done without resources, right?
It's not done without.
We need, it is not done without resources.
Yes, yes, yes,
So it
yes,
means that we need resources. So
yes,
in a situation whereby those resources are not available, what can
yes.
we do?
Uh, very simple, very, very simple.
Okay,
Okay. So in a case where so you want to build a credible brand for yourself and you do not have the money maybe to pay for a course or something, I would advise you to go and volunteer. Locate
okay,
somebody, yes, locate somebody who is succeeding at your aspiration, what you want to achieve, because for whatever it is that you want to achieve in life, somebody has achieved it or somebody is achieving success, in that
yeah,
thing. Locate them, go and serve, go and serve,
okay,
pour out your heart, learn the ropes. Okay, by the time you're learning that, you're adding value to yourself. You're building experience. Yes, you're adding value, you're building experience, and your experiences and the value that you've created for yourself, I tell you, can be employable. So somebody sees you and say, oh, you're good at this, come, I'll pay you. Okay, I'll pay you for this skill. And the money you get from that, the reward, you can use it to blossom. So now I can, you know, easily pay for a course, So I
Yeah.
paid for
Yeah.
one, it's in six figures. And I know what they will teach me, like I know it. But I paid because of the connection. So if you're able to pull, we're talking about 100 plus for a class, it means that there's something about you. So the people that will be in that room are just few people who are refined, who are qualitative. So do you get now? So yeah, but so for some years ago, I wasn't able to do that. But I volunteered, I learned, and my skill could be monetized. And from there, I'm able to, have the money to pay for these courses. So if you don't have, please go and volunteer, go and serve somebody who is already succeeding at what you're aspiring, to achieve success in. Elisha did it. And I will always talk about locating your Elijah. Many people is pride. I don't know where they're going with pride. Go and locate your Elijah today and pour water in their hands. By the time you're done, you'll return with a double portion. And guess what? The sons of the prophets will know that you're a different person. Okay? By the time you must have divided River Jordan. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so but bottom line, serve. So that's the easiest way. I can see another question.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
question
there's
on
a
the
question
screen.
on the
Please, how
screen.
do we
Please,
get
how do we get information on
information
conferences?
on
Information on
conferences? Yeah.
conferences? Yeah. I haven't heard of anyone in a while. Wow. So it's also it depends on your network because you are an average of five people around you, the people you hang out with. You are an average of the five of them. So if you hang out with fools, don't bother to look for the next one. This is, I'm just speaking generally, okay, not to you who asked the question, because it's very important. If you are in a company of people who are not aspirational, you will not aspire for anything. If you're in a company of people who only their own is, let's just post on TikTok, let's go on gallivant on social media, and you want to build a brand, you want to project yourself as an authority, you want to sell something. Sorry for you, you're in a wrong network. So if you want to be, kept abreast with
Okay.
information on personal development, on things that will elevate you in your career and even in your personal life, you must be in a network of people who are thinking the same way. Yes, there are people who send me links. Oh, Val, apply for this, this fellowship abroad. Oh, apply for this conference. It's happening in this place. Oh, these are my clique because they understand what I want and I understand what they want. So if I get the link, I share with them. If I see an opportunity that will help them in their career or their personal life, I will share with them because we
Okay.
have defined our value system. So for Veronica, you know, if you want to get information on these things, you have to be in a community of like minds, people who think aspirationally. You will be tired of even information like this. They'll be coming to you, back to back. So find out communities that supports personal growth, like WYAF is one of them, but there are so many depending on the niche that you have chosen, depending on what you have chosen to do for yourself. Okay, locate people who are thriving in that area, locate people who are also in that area, and just from their status alone, you would see opportunities. I hope that helps you.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so much.
Veronica.
Veronica,
I hope
I hope
you're
you're
satisfied with the
satisfied
answer.
with the answer.
Wow, that's
Wow,
a wonderful
a
time.
wonderful
And
time. And
to be frank with
to be
you,
frank with you,
it's been a
it's
good
been a
session. I
session.
gained
I
knowledge.
gained knowledge. Thank you so
Um,
much.
Before we go,
Before we go,
I would just
I
like
would
to
just
do
like to do
a recap
a
to the
recap
people
to the
because
people because
some
some
strategic points
strategic
were made.
points were made.
So,
So,
we have to
women
take note
have
of
to take
these
note of
before
things
we go
before we
this
go
evening
this evening.
in
I'm
creating a
creating a
personal brand.
personal brand.
First of all, you
First of
have
all,
to
you have
identify
to
what
identify
you are good
what you are
at.
good
So
at.
take note of
So
that.
take note of that.
You need to identify that, and then you have to be able to know what you are good at doing because creating a personal brand also is the same thing as knowing what you are good at. Then also create a niche for yourself. When we're talking about niche, is very, very important. You have to be able to create a niche for yourselves. Then also you have to also define your target audience. Your target audience is very important. It is very important for us to the topics or discussion we have for the SS3 students, we shouldn't give it to primary one students. The information we are passing to the JSS3 students, we should not pass it to the people in primary six because these persons are different. The knowledge they are gaining at different situation, it's actually different. So when you are selling your brand, you should be able to locate and know your target audience. Also, your location matters a lot. And we just take note of everything that was said. Tonight has been a wonderful night. To be frank with you, I'm excited to have you, Mr. Val, on this show because I just hope you honor our invitation when we call you
Call
again.
you again.
I hope
Hopefully,
I hope you will.
hopefully.
I
I
hope
mean,
you will because
this
it's
is
important
family.
for you.
Yeah, this is fun. This is family. Of course, I'm going to
Okay.
create time. I have a very crazy schedule, like crazy.
Okay.
But
Then whatever
I
be your
will.
schedule, let's try to
I'll make out
invite.
time. I'll make out time to be here again. So that we can talk about other things. There are up to like five other, points that weren't spoken on.
Wow.
But I think
Okay.
this is
No.
good. Yeah. Thank you.
We'll definitely create time for that. We'll definitely create time for that. So I just want to thank every one of us for participating in tonight's show. I hope you benefited a lot because I did. So I also want to also thank our guest speaker, Mr. Val Okafor, for honoring our invitation. And for those who will be watching this show later, do well to drop your comments and your questions. We will give you the answers to every question you have. So I just want to thank you for joining us. Thank you. We will see you next time. For the meantime, do have a wonderful night rest. I remain your uncle, Netu Blessing. See you next time. Have a wonderful night rest. Bye.